And I think that brings me to another point with Shroud recently, and I think people will agree, is that he's been going through this phase where getting paid to talk about a game, and so he'll sell it to people, he'll tell you how great it is, and it's the best next thing coming out, and then once he's done getting paid, he doesn't play the game anymore, and he'll talk shit about the game. I saw this video the other day, I think it was yesterday actually, before work on my phone, and I have my thoughts on it. Okay, so I feel like I should show you guys what Spectre Divide is, but anyways, we're not going to. We're gonna talk about it.
Should buy two bodies though sounds complicated to manage. That's exactly the point. Okay, think about it. If this was not two bodies, it would be the exact same as any other tactical shooter. That's the catch. That's the spin.
Okay, so off rip, for those of you that don't know what Spectre Divide is, it's a Valorant, CSGO, whatever that game style or game type is even called, where there's like, the two bomb sites you're planting, defusing, attack, defend, whatever. But the gimmick of Spectre Divide is that you have control over two bodies, okay? And when you buy weapons, one weapon will go to your Spectre, one will go to you. So you essentially can throw your Spectre on B, you yourself can play on A, and teleport back and forth between bodies, right? That's the gimmick, okay? That's the gimmick.
Spin, that's the hook. The hook of the game is being able to trade yourself, be able to flash for yourself, be able to cover yourself, be able to do that same thing at the other side of the map with your team. And they're doing.
So my talking point for this part was being able to flash or trade for yourself just doesn't make sense via how the game works. It takes time to travel from the body that you're currently playing to your Spectre, okay? So if I throw a flash on one body, by the time that I travel, even if my Spectre is like 10 feet away, by the time I travel to that Spectre, the flash is gone. Like, the flash effect on the enemy, if I hit him, is gone. You'd be, like, I think it'd be way better just to flash with the body that you're using and then, peek with that same body. I think it's just more efficient to take advantage of the flash. I get using the Spectre as like a repositioning tool. So like I take a few shots from you here, you're focused here. I know where you're at now. I can go to my Spectre on a better angle and then take you from there while you're focused somewhere else. I understand that aspect. But mind you, your Spectre stays active the entire time. So your Spectre can be killed while you're not using it. It's not invisible. The enemies can see it. So sometimes that will work, sometimes that won't. I feel like the spot that you put your Spectre, if it has a better advantage, it also means that it's more likely to be seen by someone because people are just moving around the map, doing their thing. So I just don't understand the selling point. Trading for yourself, like I said, if you're holding a different angle and you're willing to sacrifice one of your bodies, then fine. But I don't know. Just doesn't make sense to me.
Doing the same thing on the other side of the map. And these are the beginner maps. It's an introduction to the game. These are the characters that are introductions to the game. I have tested and seen much more maps and much more characters, and as the game develops, that mechanic starts to really flourish. There's tiers to it, right? An entry-level player that's never played this game before is probably going to manage their Spectre in a way of two lives. They'll just have their Spectre behind them somewhere, they'll fight, and then they'll die, and then they'll go to their other Spectre, and now, yay, 2 lives. But then as it goes to a more advanced player, and like an expert player, they will start to use their Spectres with their team.
But so my argument for this part is I think majority of your player base, though, is going to be average players. And if average players aren't enjoying the gimmick or like the selling point of the game because it's too complicated for them or they just don't like it, then the game fails. It just fails. I think designing a game to where only above average to top tier players can truly utilize the mechanics in a way that's fun or, whatever. I just don't think that's a good thing to tailor a game towards them. Because then all your viewer base are going to be average people majority of the time, and they're not going to want to watch it because they have no interest in the game. So I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. if your main player base isn't using the selling point of the game appropriately or how it's supposed to be and how it's intended, then the game fails. And I think that brings me to another point with Shroud recently, and I think people will agree, is that he's been going through this phase where getting paid to talk about a game, and so he'll sell it to people, he'll tell you how great it is, and it's the best next thing coming out, and then once he's done getting paid, he doesn't play the game anymore, and he'll talk shit about the game. Which is fine. Like, get your money, boo-boo. But to me, it just seems disingenuous and dishonest. And I don't like it. I hope that if I was ever put in that position, I wouldn't do that. But I think this is just that same thing happening again. I think it's a game that he knows won't succeed, but he's trying to tell you that it will, so that everyone plays it, and etc. And that's just not. I'm not cool with that. I don't like it.
And then they'll be able to do it with their team and be able to almost play them at the same time. So there's like different tiers of how you use them, which is fun. But yeah, if you're asking why the double bodies, why Spectres, why do you do that? That is literally the whole point. That is the catch. That is what makes this game different. Why two bodies though? Sounds complicated.
So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that video. There's very little that you can even talk about Spectre Divide right now because of like NDAs and everything. But obviously we can talk about what they're publicly putting out. So to me, it's just, from the content creator perspective, I think it's weird to sell a game that most likely isn't going to do well. Now, if he's doing it from the space of like he genuinely loves the game and thinks it's going to do amazing, that's fine. That's on him to figure out. To me, it doesn't feel that way. And with how he's acted in the past towards games, it makes it hard to trust that he actually feels that way. So from the game side, I just don't think the selling point of the game is that good. I don't think the visuals are good. The speed of play didn't look enjoyable. And what's funny to me is anytime I see highlights of this game, like a content creator made them, it's not even them using the Spectre. It's them just hitting really good shots. So it's like, even like using the Spectre hasn't even made it in the highlights yet. That's the whole selling point of the game. And people are only just, to me, from what I've seen, flaunting their aim skills. So they're not even doing a good job at selling the selling point. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about this because Spectre Divide's kind of a talking point right now, along with a few other games. Delta Force, we've talked about Delta Force. I think Fragpunk, another game that Shroud did play and promote a little bit, I think Fragpunk is going to be a much better game than this. And I haven't even played Fragpunk, but visually, the speed of play, everything looks way more appealing to me with Fragpunk than this does. So we'll have to make a video and talk about Fragpunk a little bit more. I'd like to be able to play it, but anyways, I just wanted to talk about Spectre Divide, my thoughts, and with Shroud specifically. Everyone's also thinks that this is his game. It's not his game. He just helped develop it. I think they just went to him for advice or help us fix this, help us, give us your insight, etc. So I think there's big confusion that like, oh, Shroud's game sucks. This isn't his game. He just helped with it. But anyways, yep. So appreciate y'all for watching. Have a good one and stay dirty.